Hi everyone, welcome to the Just That Spice Kitchen. Today I'm here with a quick recipe for Moru Curry. Now if anyone has made Moru Curry at home with their family in a Malayali household, you know that it's a staple, especially on Onam Sadhya or any type of feast that we have at our homes or at our gatherings. And the specialty with Moru Curry is we use it as a sauce on top of our rice. Now, as many of you may know, rice is a major component of our meals. We have our sides, our curries, and our veggie side dishes, but we also have a Moru Curry, which is a yogurt sauce that has spices added to it, and it's cooked very slowly and let those spices permeate through that yogurt. And then once it's cooked and cooled, we use it as a sauce on top of our rice. I'm going to show you here how to make it. All the ingredients can be found on justthatspice.com, and I hope you go to the website, share the recipe if you like it, try it. It's pretty quick and easy, so let's get started. So I'm going to start with the main ingredient, which is yogurt. I have full fat yogurt here, whole milk yogurt, and I have about 1 to 2 cups. I'm going to add this to a blender. I like using full fat yogurt because the richness is there. Yogurt is always a good staple to have on hand because it's good for you. It also provides that consistency we want in a Moru Curry. Right now I'm going to add some salt and some turmeric powder. Turmeric powder is just to get that color, that vibrant yellow color. We can also the salt just to enhance the flavor so you don't feel that sour taste of the yogurt. So like I showed you before, I add the yogurt to the blender. I added the turmeric and the salt, and now I'm going to add half a cup or so of water into the blender. And what we're going to do is we're going to blend all of this. And when we blend all of this, it's going to be a uniform light yellow color, and that is what we're going to infuse with all our spices. So once you have the yogurt mixture blended with that turmeric and salt and water, you're going to get something with a little bit of bubbles because we just mixed it with a little air in the blender. But you're going to get this light yellow, pale yellow color. And that's what we're going to slowly infuse those spices with. Now we're not going to cook this yogurt. We're just going to lightly warm it with those spices because those spices are going to bloom in the heat, and I'll show you that next. So I added olive oil to the pot, and I'm going to let that heat through so that I can add the mustard seeds. That's the first step. We're going to add mustard seeds so that it can pop, infuse the oil with its flavor. All of these condiments we see here are going to be added and heated through. What happens when we heat it through and we cook the onions, ginger, garlic, curry leaves in the oil, that cooking process is what we eventually add to our turmeric infused yogurt. I'm adding the mustard seeds. It's about 1 to 2 teaspoons of mustard seeds, and this is going to pop. It's going to pop, so I'm going to put a lid on it and make sure nothing splatters. Just infusing that oil with the mustard seeds. I can actually add a little bit more oil as well in order to facilitate that. But the more oil you add, you want to remember that the yogurt sauce, as you store it, is going to have a layer of oil that sits on top of it. That's okay because you can always shake it up. So the mustard seeds have popped. I've turned my heat on low because it was on medium-high so that it could pop. I'm now adding all these aromatics in. That's a shallot, small onions, curry leaves, ginger, garlic. All these ingredients and amounts are on justthatspice.com. What we're going to do now is saute these until the onions are translucent. The curry leaves have that bright green color. You can cut back on the mustard seeds if you think this is too much. I actually may have put a little too much, but that's okay. I don't mind the flavor. When you're actually having the Moru Curry on rice, you don't actually bite the mustard seeds. You actually end up just eating it. You don't even feel that the mustard seeds are in there. It imparts its flavor and infuses well with all dishes that you add it to. I'm adding red chilies. These are dried red chilies that I took the seeds out of. I don't want it to be too spicy. I don't like a lot of spice in my curries, so I added seedless dried red chili. The other thing that this will do is infuse into the dish, just give it a little bit of a kick. Other spices I'm adding here: fenugreek, cumin, and a pinch of cayenne. Cayenne pepper is actually less spicy on the milder side of the red chilies, so I'm adding that along with the cumin. So even if you have to avoid the red chili, dried red chili and the cayenne, make sure you add the fenugreek with the cumin because that matters. So we're gonna focus on this mixture here. I've turned the heat on really low because right now we're not going to cook this yogurt mixture. We're just going to heat it through. So I'm adding the yogurt. See that pale yellow, vibrant yellow color? That's what we want to see for this mixture. I'm going to gently stir it. You don't want this yogurt to curdle. I'm actually going to turn off the heat because that residual heat will actually melt all these flavors into this sauce. And so now we just have residual heat going, everything is cooked through, and this is our final moru curry. So if you leave it on too long on a heated surface, the yogurt will curdle. Even though we've added water and all these things to it, the yogurt still has a tendency to curdle. Now the final step is I use curry leaves to cook through and add to the yogurt sauce in the beginning, as you saw. But what I'm going to do now is take some more curry leaves. I've set some curry leaves aside so I could sprinkle it on top. And now when I sprinkle this on top, that residual heat from the curry will wilt these, and that's just added flavor that we can add, just like you would add a garnish of cilantro or something else to parsley to any dish. It's a last minute garnish. I'm adding the curry leaves as a last minute garnish as well. You can use this with rice, on top of rice. A lot of people like to drink this on its own once it's cooled or warm. I don't do that. I basically like to add this to rice dishes. The way you store this is in an airtight container. Once it has cooled, put it in an airtight container and store it in the refrigerator. It can last up to a week or 2 weeks. These type of curries are always more flavorful with plain rice. You can use it however you want, with whatever side you want. Thank you for visiting our website, and thank you for trying this recipe. I hope you like it and enjoy.